Hi everybody, I'm Mayor Melissa Skabich, and I'm here to talk today a little bit about affordable housing and the questions you may have about our upcoming obligations. You will see a email come out as well as a Q&A document on the website and on our social media channels, but we also wanted to give residents an opportunity to come and talk to us in person, and that is happening on Monday, June 16th at 6 o'clock up here at Town Hall. It'll be myself and Deputy Mayor Miga and some other township officials who will be here on hand to answer your questions in person. But until then, I wanted to share with you the Q&A document that's been created that again you will all see on the website and on social media, and an email is also going out. So I'm going to run through these Q&A now. I'm going to start with question number 1. Why are there affordable housing obligations and where do they come from? Well, the state of New Jersey imposes an affirmative obligation on local municipalities to meet their regional fair share of low and moderate income housing for the population. This stems from a series of New Jersey Supreme Court cases beginning in 1975 that are collectively known as the Mount Laurel Doctrine. In Mount Laurel, the New Jersey Supreme Court established this constitutional mandate, and since then, the state of New Jersey sought to implement these mechanisms through various pieces of legislation, the creation of the Council on Affordable Housing, which you'll hear referred to as COA for short, and most recently, the Fair Housing Act, which was adopted in 2024. So in this document that you'll all see online, there will be a link for you to read about the Mount Laurel Doctrine, so you can really get the history of what happened there and why we are where we are today. Question 2, what happens if we do not meet our affordable housing obligation? So this is really important because after the first Mount Laurel case was decided, the New Jersey Supreme Court realized that municipalities were non-compliant in ensuring that they met what they call their fair share obligations. To combat this, in 1983, a second case was argued before the Supreme Court, known as Mount Laurel II, which sought to address the noncompliance with the directives issued in the first Mount Laurel case. So one of the ways that the court sought to force compliance was through the inclusion of a builder's remedy provision. So this means that the court provided that if a municipality complies with the Mount Laurel Doctrine, they will receive immunity from the builder's remedy provision. If they do not comply, the municipality will lose immunity. And again, in this document that's going to be posted, there's a link all about the builder's remedy, so just click on that and you can read a little bit more about why that's important and why we have to adhere to that. Question 3, what happens if a municipality loses its builder's remedy immunity? If a municipality loses this immunity, it loses control over the affordable housing obligation, the process, and its ultimate implementation. So this is bad news. We want to avoid this at all costs. Loss of immunity turns over control to the courts, results in substantially higher density and greater overdevelopment near the total deference to the builders or developers, and a greater and harder to manage burden on the schools and infrastructure in a municipality. And again, you'll be able to read more about that. There's a TAP article linked in this document that you'll be able to read all about losing the builder's remedy immunity. Question 4, what has Cedar Grove done to fight this mandatory housing obligation? Over the last 8 years, Cedar Grove has actively purchased nearly 60 acres of vacant open land and sought to preserve it as open space by placing it on the Green Acres Rossi and filing deed restrictions. The township purchased over 50 acres around the Newark watershed property, which is right across from the reservoir on Ridge Road, and over 2 acres at the former VFW site, and another acre of property on the corner of Fairview and Pompton. By purchasing this land and placing it on the Green Acres inventory, the township has taken this land out of circulation and out of the state's circulation of the obligation. So basically, we bought the land and it reduced our affordable housing obligation. So the township, in addition to buying the land, the township also joined as plaintiffs with over 25 other municipalities a lawsuit to sue and try to stop the most recent law's obligations from being imposed. This has now multiplied into 3 lawsuits in state courts and 1 lawsuit in federal court. And for more information about that, there'll be a link in the document that links to a Patch article that explains why we joined this lawsuit and what it means for the municipality and for the state. Question 5. What were Cedar Grove's prior round obligations and how were they addressed? Okay, so I'm going to rattle off a lot of numbers now, so bear with me. But the township's prior round obligations are as follows. Rounds 1 and 2 were from 1983 to 1999, and we had a 70-unit obligation. Round 3 was 1999 to 2025, and we had a 260-unit obligation. The township has completely satisfied these numbers through the following mechanisms. The first is the Cedar Ridge senior housing, which has 82 units. The second is the Hilltop, which has 90 units. Third is Zephyr Woods, which has 5 units that will be constructed with Cliffside Drive. And then the fourth is Cliffside Drive, which I know everyone knows is currently under construction, and that will be 52 units. Number 5 is Arc of Essex County Supportive Housing, which is 5 units. Those have already been built. Number 6 is Market to Affordable, which is 17 units, and that's ongoing. And then number 7 is bonus credits, and we get 79 credits. So question 6 is, what are Cedar Grove's current 4th round obligations and how will they be addressed? When calculated by the state of New Jersey, the township's initial obligation consisted of 15 units. That was our present need obligation, and that means rehabilitation must occur to deficient homes already owned or occupied by low or moderate income household, and 170 units prospective need obligation. Now that means new construction. And because Cedar Grove is already largely built out with limited land available to dedicate to new development, the township and its professionals applied for a vacant land adjustment. So this adjustment allows for municipalities to reduce their required affordable housing obligations by demonstrating that they lack sufficient vacant land to meet those obligations. This process, in effect, reduces the municipality's RDP, which stands for Realistic Development Potential, which is the amount of affordable housing they can realistically accommodate given their developable land. As such, the township has calculated an RDP of 9 units. So with a 9-unit realistic development potential, the township is left with 161 unmet need, which is a lesser obligation. Question 7. How will the township meet the RDP of 9 units and the unmet need of 161 units? So the requirements for addressing these obligations are, number 1, need 50% family units. So that can not only be senior housing or age-restricted housing or any units that are developed for individuals with special needs. Number 2, maximum of 30% senior units. 3, we need 25% rentals, and we cannot address the whole obligation through owner-occupied housing. And then 4 is a maximum of 25% bonus credits. The township satisfies the RDP of 9 units as well as the unmet need through the following. Number 1, the March Development Scaled Nursing Facility on 1201 Pompton, which is 17 credits. The MF-AH-IO Commerce Road Affordable Overlay District, which is 95 credits. Number 3, the MF-AH-IO Lewis Affordable Overlay District is 29 credits. And number 4 is proposed additions to the MF-AH-IO zoning overlay. So with the existing overlay districts and contemplated expansions, Cedar Grove will more than satisfy its obligations, both the RDP of 9 units and the unmet need of 161 units. So question 8, you've heard me talk about bonus credits. What are those? Credits are defined as a reduction against a municipality's affordable housing obligation. Generally, 1 credit is granted for each unit of low or low to moderate income housing built. Bonus credits incentivize the development of specific types of housing or in specific areas. These include redeveloping existing developed land, placing affordable homes near transit systems, providing certain types of special needs housing, and very low income housing. Bonus credits are often multipliers used on top of regular credits to help a municipality attain their obligation with less overall units. Question 9. Who administers the Township of Cedar Grove's affordable housing obligation? The township contracts with CGP&H as the administrative agent in charge of ensuring compliance with all trust fund reporting and occupancy requirements for the township's existing and future obligations. For more information about affordable housing obligation, you can visit affordablehomesnewjersey.com or call 609-664-2769 extension 5 and leave a detailed message. The township manager also serves as the township's municipal housing liaison, and the chief financial officer serves as the deputy municipal housing liaison. So that's the Q&A in a nutshell. I know it's a lot of information. We encourage you to please come out to Monday's meeting, and if you're unable to make it, please feel free to reach out to me, Mr. Zakelli, our township manager, Deputy Mayor Miga, or anyone on the town council. We're all more than happy to chat with you about this, and I thank you for your time today. Thank you.